Brite Lite Promotions. You're here live in New York City with Warrior Sound. Introduce yourselves to New York and know.
Yeah, I'm Mattia, the one-man army from Germany. My sound is called Warrior Sound International. And yeah, that's what it is.
Alright, this is your first time in New York?
It's my second time in New York actually. I juggled once with Jamie in the Bronx on Young Hawk's birthday bashment. But right now it's my first time clashing in New York tonight. Yeah.
Alright, so tell the fans a little bit about Warrior Sound, when you established the sound, and basically what big clashes you've had since you started your sound.
Yeah, I started the sound on my own, like in 2006. I played a different sound before. Then I started my own sound at the end of 2006. From that day I played the sound alone, called Warrior Sound International. And it took a time to build up, you know, like, yeah, it's to get a proper dub-plate box and start to play sound clashes. It took me some years. So I had like some local clashes and some smaller clashes in Europe, some 45 clashes, and the first really big clash actually that I won was a 1-versus-1. No, was a 4-way sound clash in 2009 in France against Irie Crew, Harticle and Superfresh from Canada. It was the French Crown Sound Clash in 2009, and nobody expected me to win that clash. And it was like 500 people in the place, in a town in France. I've never been there before, and the French crowd is not really like, they don't really understand the English so good. The English level is not very high in France, so it was kind of hard to connect to the people. But I did that from the first round. It just worked out very good in that night. So I won that clash, and from that day, people saw me also as a clash sound, not only as a juggling sound. And the next big war that I won was in 2012 against my brethren Magash in Rome, in Italy. Then I beat General Palma, also in Italy. And then I beat Supersonic in a 1-versus-1 in 2013 in Germany. And that was a lock-off. I locked off Supersonic. There was no dub-fi-dub necessary. I won 4 rounds against Supersonic in a dub-plate clash and locked off Supersonic in that night. After this, in 2014, I won the Warner East Sound Clash in Berlin against XIGON Sound from Trinidad, Kosmik, Natural Affairs, and Burn Down from Japan. That was like probably that clash that opened the doors on an international level for my sound. So right now I'm here in New York and ready for the next step.
The War in the East victory definitely opened up a lot of people's eyes to who Warrior was. But at the same time, it's being said that Warrior has a big following in Europe. Warrior is hard to beat in Europe. Where did that fan base come from if you basically just started clashing?
Yeah, I juggle every week, like every weekend, every Thursday night, every Friday night, every Saturday night. Mostly, like really every Saturday and Friday night I play all over Europe. So people are familiar to Warrior Sound in Europe, but to get back to the Warner East, the clash crowd at the Warner East was like the fairest and most non-biased clash crowd I ever played for. Like I got booed in that night, you know, like I was behind in the dub-fi-dub 2-0, and then I just came back, and Berlin is like 600 kilometers away from the town where I live. So like, and people from all over Europe went to that clash, so it was not really, yeah, perhaps it was a small advantage for me, but I could also lose that clash if I didn't play good in that night, because the crowd was very fair and very unbiased. Like XIGON, they went very far, they led 2-0 in the dub-fi-dub. If they continue that and don't fuck up their own thing, they would probably won that clash, but they didn't. So.
Okay, and what part of Germany is Warrior Sound from?
I'm from Wuppertal, that's near Cologne. It's like, yeah, in the center of Germany, on the west side, yeah, a little bit on the west side, yeah. And we have a club called the U Club, and that's a club which is very famous for reggae and dancehall music, and like most of the big sound and big artists played in that club already. From New York, for example, we had King Artist playing there already, we had Kosmik playing there already, we had Young Hawk playing there already, North Sounds pass through like every week, and so the community, the reggae and dancehall community in Wuppertal is like one of a kind, because there's so much going on, so much international sounds and artists passing through our city. So that's like, yeah, a good place in Germany to listen reggae and dancehall music.
Okay, now you mentioned that you clashed Supersonic and locked them off in Germany.
Yes.
From this side of the water, from New York, we recognize Supersonic as one of the biggest sounds in Europe and Germany.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else in Germany? Is a very competitive country as far as the European countries. We got Supersonic, we got Sentinel, we got City Lock.
Yeah.
So besides Supersonic, have you clashed any other sounds from Germany in a clash maybe we didn't hear about?
I clashed City Lock, but that's like nearly 10 years ago. I lost to them in the Dub for Dub. There was a one-on-one clash. It was very close. Yeah, Pow Pow, they don't clash anymore. Sentinel, I would clash Sentinel, but they don't take no more clash days. Actually, that's the reason why I don't clash Sentinel.
Okay.
There were some offers for clashes with me and Sentinel. I wasn't the one that said no, so
Okay.
probably they take a break from clashing now. On the other hand, like there's Jugglers coming up as a big clash sound. They have the clash against Black Shiny, and they did some trouble at the Dream Weekend as well, and when they played on Jamaica. So like they will be probably the next big clash sound from Europe. We will see what the Wine East will bring in 2050.
Speaking about what Jugglers did at Dream Weekend, is there any upcoming dates in Jamaica or a tour in Jamaica coming up with Warrior that people could look forward to? Or you have any plans on going to Jamaica?
Yeah, I will spend some weeks in Jamaica at the end of the year, but that's like more a vacation thing. But I always play my sound as well. I always stay like in FANBASE and always play like at different spots, but nothing like really official, you know. Like, but I will have a SOUNDCLASH tour in Grenada. That's coming up on the Eastern weekend. I have 2 SOUNDCLASHes and 2 juggling dates in Grenada, and it will feature Kosmik from New York, XIGON from Trinidad, me, Natural Affairs, Chaps High Tech, and Elegance Sound, and a lot of soca artists. And it's like on the Easter Saturday there's one clash, and on Easter Monday on a different island in Grenada, the same lineup, like 2 clashes with the same lineup, and yeah, that will be a nice Easter week there.
So Easter weekend, back-to-back nights,
Yeah.
Warriors clashing in Grenada.
Yeah.
That's a good look. Now, you say you're the one-man army. You call yourself the one-man army. There's no other selectors on Warrior Sound at all?
No,
Just you?
just me.
So you do your voicing, your rewriting of your dub plates,
Yes,
everything
yes.
basically by yourself?
Yes.
Okay, that's
I
a
do
good
the
look.
bookings, like everything, you know, like it's my business. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And if a promoter want to reach out to Warrior Sound to book them, where can they reach Warrior at?
Through my Facebook page, like you can check warriorsound.de. It will lead you to my Facebook page, and you can just leave me a message there. Send an email to warriorsound@hotmail.de. That's like the way to get in touch with Warrior Sound.
You have any music up on SoundCloud? That
Yeah,
people can
Warrior
check out?
Sound 1 on SoundCloud.
Okay. And is that clashes? Is that personal mixes from the sound?
Both. There are some small doublet mixes I did for the Rhythm magazine. There are some mixtapes. There's the Clash against Supersonic, the Wine East audio. You can find it on my profile. So yeah, everything.
Okay, and finally, since you call yourself the one-man army, I noticed there's a date coming up against another well-known one-man army, which is Jamie Younghawk. That's in Europe. Let us know a little bit about that dance.
I think that is one of the clashes for the year so far, because Jamie and me, we are good friends. Big up Younghawk anytime, you know, like, yeah. It's like we linked like a couple of years ago, and we always stayed in touch, and like, yeah, we're like real friends in a real life, you know. So big up Jamie. And that night it will be tough for both of us probably, because it's Italy. It's like a neutral ground, you know, like yeah, it's like 1,000 kilometers from Germany, and not everybody will jump in a plane and go there. So and Jamie also has some fans in Europe, you know, like people. He beat it Supersonic in my town, so people know Jamie, you know, like, and his style, when he connects in Italy on that night, he can win that dance. On the other hand, I want to avoid it, that he wins that dance. I want to win that dance. So the friendship I go end for like the 2 or 3 hours of the sound clash. But before and after, we're friends again, you know, like after the clash, we're friends again. But during that night, there will be no friendship. There will be a big, big war.
All right, and what you think personally about Young Hawk sound? Because you seem like you juggle with them in New York before, you played with them in Germany before. As a sound system, are you a fan of Young Hawk? What do you think of Jamie as a selector?
Yeah. I'm a fan of Young Hawk because I like the energy he has on stage, like the speeches, the quick mixing and everything. Like years ago when we had them in Germany, it was like a next level thing for us to see Jamie playing, you know, like with that fast mixing and the wicked energy, and like he could move the crowds in Europe, and yeah, I'm a fan of Young Hawk sound. So
okay, any other sounds? You say you're a fan of Young Hawk. Is there any other sounds that coming up Warrior looked to and got inspiration from? You would say, I'm a fan of this sound, or I'm a fan of that sound?
Yeah, actually I try to find my own way of playing music. I don't want to copy and paste another sound style, you know, like I try to find my own way of voicing doublets, my own way of playing music, so that if you listen to Warrior sound, it doesn't sound like the sounds you heard before in your life. That's what I want to do. That's what I'm working on. So, but definitely there are some people that inspired me, like Kilimanjaro is one of my favorite sounds. Bass Odyssey is one of my favorite sounds. Big up King Artists anytime. I like the big sounds were set the trend. You know, like, of course they inspired me, and without them, probably we wouldn't be here tonight, you know? Like David Rodigan, he played a big role for reggae and dancehall music in Europe. So, yeah, actually, all these big selectors from way back, I really, you know, like, I really rate them and really respect them, and most of them are like an inspiration, like, for me to start playing music, because I went to dances a long time before I started to play music. And in Wuppertal I saw all the big sounds like Stone Love. When Stone Love played the first time in Germany, it was in my city, in our club. I was 16 and sneaked in, you know, like, yeah, so.
All right, so now, Warrior sound, before we wrap up, do you have any particular artists that you could say represent Warrior sound, or you just music as a whole, no particular artist?
Yeah, music as a whole. I don't say like, you know, like this is my artist or that is my artist. Like, good music is good music. So no matter what kind of artist is doing the music, as long as it's good music, I will play it, you know, and I will support it.
Okay, so tonight we got the tag team clash in Albany Manor, Intl Digital Promotions. Warrior, my gosh, versus Rhythm Force and Camouflage.
Yeah.
What do you think of those two sounds?
I'm not too familiar with Rhythm Force and Camouflage, actually. I definitely heard something about them and listened to some audios, but not too much, you know, because normally I even don't listen too much to Clash audios, because I don't want Clash audios to change my style of playing, because I want to find my own way of voicing dubs, and I don't want to hear dub and say I want a dub like this, you know. I want to hear a regular song and think about it, how I can build like my song out of it. So yeah, I'm not too familiar with Camouflage and Rhythm Force, but one thing I know for sure, it won't be easy for them tonight. It won't be easy for us as well, but it won't be easy for them tonight.
Have you ever been to a Clash in New York before?
No, I've never been to a Clash in New York before.
All right, so get ready for that one.
I will do that, man.
All right, Brite Lite Promotions,
Yeah.
Warrior Sound, Mattia.
Big up Brite Lite Promotions, big up Endo Digital. Every sound in New York roll out tonight for the big tag team clash. Enough respect, New York.
All right, thanks. Big up C-Rock.